Our heel elevated goblet squat is a strength move primarily focusing on the quadriceps, the front of those legs. By elevating those heels up, we are transferring more of the workload over onto the front of the legs and away from those hamstrings and glutes. For this exercise, you're going to want a dumbbell or a kettlebell or any sort of weight that you can hold against the chest. You're also going to want something to elevate the heels. This can be a weight plate like I'm using here. It can be something as simple as a book, pretty much anything that you can elevate those heels, and we want to elevate them around 2 to 4 inches. The higher you elevate them, the more focus is going to be on the quads. The lower you elevate them, the more those glutes and hamstrings are going to get involved, closer to like they would be on a normal goblet squat. So find something about 2 to 4 inches up, grab your weight. We're going to bring those heels up onto whatever you're using here, whether it's a weight plate or whether it's a book. Bring those heels up, but make sure the balls of the feet and the toes are staying on the floor. So if you have shorter feet, you're going to actually need something a little bit shorter. If you have larger feet, you can grab something that's a little bit more elevated, closer to that 4-inch range. So we want to make sure the balls of our feet are still on the floor, and we want to make sure those heels are elevated. Otherwise, take your normal kind of squat stance, feet about hip distance apart here. We're going to bring the weight up to the chest. Everything else is going to be the same as a normal goblet squat. Focus on keeping the chest up, pushing the hips back, sticking that butt out as we get down as low as we can, and then coming all the way up at the top. We're not going to lock those legs. We're going to keep just a slight bend in them, but come all the way up to where that spine is in line with the rest of the body at the very top. So again, nice and controlled down, and then all the way up, just like we would for a normal goblet squat. Major things to remember on here, main thing is foot placement. Really make sure your feet are about hip distance apart, heels are up, but keeping the balls of the feet down. We don't want the balls of the feet to be elevated to where we're just putting pressure on the toes. So make sure that the balls of the feet are actually on the floor, but those heels are elevated. Second thing to remember, chest up. We're not hinging on over by having those heels elevated. It's going to kick you a little bit further forward, making it even easier to kind of roll over like this as you're squatting. Fight that, keep those hips back, and keep that chest up. And last thing to remember, get down nice and low on these, as low as you can go without those heels coming up off of the box or the plate or whatever you're using to elevate them. Start off with a lightweight, get used to the elevation here, get used to that movement, try to adjust that height if you need to here, and then you can go ahead and start progressing up in weight to find a challenging weight for those quads.